41. Let us look at the 10th verse. The 10th verse. It says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." This is the word of God for the people of God. Amen. You may be seated. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for your word, your wisdom, your knowledge and understanding. Father, please speak to our hearts today. Give us a word from on high. Minister unto these thy people. Show us your greatness and your goodness and your mercy and your love. And we'll be ever so grateful, Father. We give you all the glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, the 10th verse is our preaching verse. But when you get home and have the opportunity, you need to read the entire chapter. That chapter 41 of Isaiah is an amazing, powerful declaration, not by man, but by God. And if you go back to that first verse, you will find God speaking to the earth, commanding that all foreign or distant lands release the children of Israel so that they could come home to their promised land. Now, God didn't speak to any kings, or he didn't speak to any lords, he didn't speak to any powers, but he spoke to the land, demanding that the land would release his children. And just as God spoke to the land that all the children of Israel would come back home, God speaks to your situations. God speaks to your circumstances. God speaks to your issues. God speaks to those things that keep you oppressed and down, that they might know that you do not belong to them, but you belong to him. And when he speaks, they can only bow down and accept what thus saith the Lord. I know sometimes we find it hard within ourselves to do what God has called and appointed and spoken over our lives to do, but the circumstances in your life got no better sense to but follow God's instructions. And if your problems understand that they have to follow God, why can't we? Now, as we get into this chapter, I ask you to go back to the 40th chapter and that last verse, because it sets up the lesson. It sets up and gives understanding into what God is about to do. That 31st verse, God said to those that have an ear to hear, that of you waiting, expecting, looking, and hoping in him will get new power and soar like eagles above all of your problems and all of your circumstances. Why? Because they have no authority in your life. Oh, it's time that we stop focusing on what is going around us. That we stop focusing on the problems that we see. That we stop worrying about how hard it may seem. Because God has not forsaken you. He promised to help you. He promised to uphold you. He promised to strengthen you. So if you would but trust in God, lean not to thy own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge him, he will direct your path. He will allow you to fly above your situations and your circumstances. God says, fear not, for I am with you. He's a God that is amazing and awesome. And you know, some people question who he is and what he is and where he is and what's his authority. None of that stuff really matters when you know him for yourself. None of that stuff matters when you trust in him for yourself. And even more, none of that stuff matters when he has shown himself great to you. That's right. God, the I am, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The I am that I am, in proper Hebrew translation says that I will be who I will be. In other words, again, it doesn't matter what you're going through. It does not matter how you feel. It does not matter how things look. God is going to be who he is. Amen. Now, we just have to trust and believe in him. The one who spoke the Big Bang, created all living things, including man, came down through 42 generations, never missing a heartbeat of any man to save and redeem all men. He is a God that is able to do abundantly above all we can ever think or imagine. If we will trust in him, if we would listen to the call that he has presented to your life, the call that he has spoken over you, the call that he has spoken into you, all you have to do is trust in God. God, like I said, people question God. They want to know who he is and what he is. But God is so miraculous and so awesome and so unexplainable that he could take an old man and his barren wife and give them a child. That he can walk on water. That he can take a blind man and give him sight. He could take a stubborn man and make him the chief of apostles. He can take anything and make it into what he wanted to be, and he desires to do the same for you and for me. Because he is all that the book says he is. And then more. If you would only trust and believe, forsaking all your own understanding, but acknowledging him in all of your ways, he will take care of you. We see he promised here in that 31st verse to never forsake you or leave you alone. And I told you I'm not going to hold you long, and I'm about done already. But what I want you to see, what I want you to get and walk away with today, no matter what you're going through, can't stop. Don't stop. Regardless to what the situation look like, you can't stop and don't stop. Regardless of what everybody else is saying about you, you can't stop and you don't stop. Regardless of how you feel in your body, you can't stop and don't stop. Regardless of how much money you have in the bank, you can't stop and don't stop. Regardless of how low you have fallen, you can't stop, don't stop. Regardless of what everybody else thinks about your situation, you can't stop, don't stop. No matter what it feels and looks like, you can't stop, don't stop. No matter how your mental health and emotional health is affecting your mind, can't stop, don't stop. No matter how your spouse is acting, can't stop, don't stop. No matter how fool your children are getting, can't stop, don't stop. Even when the dog and the cat don't want to listen, can't stop, don't stop. Even when you go to work and they treat you like you don't belong there, can't stop, don't stop. No matter what it is, you can't stop, don't stop. You ought to tell somebody, encourage somebody right now, tell them, can't stop, don't stop. We cannot stop. Pushing forward. We cannot stop trusting in him. We cannot stop leaning on him and believing in him. Because in the end, it is his goal, his purpose, and desire for your life that you win. Can't stop.